Today we are going to talk about Chanel bags that you can find under $1,000. There are actually a lot of them, but there are things you need to know. So watch this video, maybe you'll learn some things. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury living on a budget, from high-end luxury handbags and small goods to the everyday luxuries of life. If that sounds interesting to you, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos, and be sure to like the videos that you enjoy. And one of the perks of subscribing to my channel is that on your YouTube homepage, you get to see my community posts, and that's where I post things like rare finds, deals, sales, discount codes, on these things we love. So let's get started. We're talking about Chanel bags under $1,000. I recently did a video on Louis Vuitton bags under $500. You guys really seem to like that, and you said in the comments that you would like to see more things like that. Finding a Chanel bag under $500 is near impossible, especially one that you'd actually want to buy. I'm doing $1,000 for this one. That's sort of the minimum cap there, at least in terms of multiples of 500. Once you go past $1,000, you start getting into a lot more variety and a lot more options. But there are still a lot of options under $1,000 if you're open-minded. If you're new to my channel, I want to point out, if you hear some whistling or funny sound in the background, it's more than likely my African gray parrot. Her name is Vincent. She lives way on the other side of the apartment. My doors are closed, but you can still hear her, because when she hears me talking, she has good ears. She wants to join in the conversation, so she does. And I edit out the annoying higher-pitched whistles as much as possible, but sometimes she still makes it through. She makes her voice heard. All right, I have a few things I want to tell you before I tell you about the bags I found, and I'll have a computer over here with my notes, so let me bring this up and tell you. So I already said it's hard to find a Chanel bag under $500. Chanel card holders cost $500. So, whether they're new or pre-loved, and pre-loved, you can find a card holder. I have seen them, rare, highly desirable ones, for over $1,000. Finding a handbag in this price range is, relatively speaking, a pretty good deal when it comes to Chanel. The tote behind me I got under $1,000. I think I paid about $945 for that, somewhere in that range. That's the Chanel Shop in Moscow tote. I have videos on that bag. I will link them in the description box below. I also have links to all the bags that I'm talking about today in the description box, so you can check any of them out there if there's something you're interested in. Just make sure that you look at the listing, look at the pictures, read the description before you purchase, okay? Because these are used bags and you want to know what you're buying, so just pay attention to those details. If you have $1,000 budget and you don't want to go over that and you want a Chanel bag, there's some things to know. You may need to be a little, well, you pretty much have to be open-minded about condition. So when I was looking at these, there were some typical condition issues that I encountered over and over again, and those are things like corner wear and edge wear. For me, those aren't necessarily deal breakers. It depends on the degree of the corner and edge wear, but you have to figure out what you're comfortable with, and again, that's looking at the photos. And then also, if you're unsure about something, buy from a place that has a good return policy, like Fashion File. The bags that I'm going to show you today are all or almost all from Fashion File. If you shop at some other places, the return policies are different. Like the Real has a no return policy on a lot of their bags. Now, I will say they don't tell you this, but if there is damage or something, some kind of wear to the bag that wasn't disclosed in the photos or the description, and you tell them about that and ask for a refund and sending the bag back, my experience has always been that they will accept that. They'll take the return and refund your money. Other places like Tradesy, if you return something to them, then you only can return for store credit. So just be aware, wherever you're shopping, be aware of their return policies if you're buying online. Corner wear, edge wear, also some things that were common are marks and stains. These could be on the outside or the inside of the bag. Smells, for the most part, you can get those those out, but it may take time. Like it could take many months to completely get rid of a smell, so be aware of that. Popped or frayed stitches. This is something that, again, for me would depend on the degree of it. Generally, if something says it has popped stitches, I stay away from it because that's something where the stitch could then start to come undone. If it's a frayed stitch, I try to find a photograph of it. Fashionphile's good about showing those photos. Sometimes it looks okay and sometimes it doesn't, so you just use your own judgment there. Cracks. I wouldn't buy a bag that has cracks in the material. If it has cracks in the glazing around the edges, that is maybe more acceptable for me. It depends again on the degree of it. Peeling. I wouldn't buy a bag with peeling personally. Tears and cuts I wouldn't deal with. You're also going to run into, most of these bags are not going to have an authentication card with them, and some of them won't even have the little sticker inside that has the serial number. So look for those things. Be aware that at this price point you're going to run into these issues. Also be aware of some things you can do to get around those issues if the price is right and you're willing to go through this. So some of these things can be fixed by just cleaning the bag, right? Some, you may have some corner wear, let's say, or even some peeling or something like that, or a cut in the material, and leather surgeons or other places like that may be able to fix that for you. I have not used any service like that, so I can't speak personally, but I have seen people's before and after photos and heard experiences like on Fashionphile or on Leather Surgeon's website where they show before and after photos. I did have something quoted through Leather Surgeons once and I found them pretty pricey. So be aware of that as well. Also, you'll run into in this price range and in other price ranges, higher ones, that if you have a light colored bag, that you may have some stains on the outside of the bag or some pen marks or something. And some people choose to purchase a bag like that at the right price for them and dye the bag, whether they're doing it themselves or sending it somewhere. So that's another option if you are willing to go that route. I would also say if you're buying a bag and you think you might resell it at some point, if you dye it or have repairs done, you should disclose in the description when you're selling the item that that work has been done on the bag, and it will decrease the value of the bag. Although, depending on how little you paid and invested in the bag, it may increase the value, but generally repairs and dyeing will decrease if it's a bag that wasn't super cheap and damaged to begin with. Does that make sense? Also, when you're looking on Fashionphile at this price range for Chanel, most of the condition descriptions are going to say very good. Some of them will just say good. Generally, you want to stay away from the good ones, but still check it out if it's something you're interested in. I did find a few that said good condition that didn't seem to have bad damage, but usually good means there's damage. Very good is more open. And in this price range, of course, you are not going to find things like a classic flap or a reissue. And you're going to run into materials that the bags are made of that might be less desirable. So for example, things I saw were nylon, vinyl, satin, jersey, toile, T-O-I-L-E, am I saying that right? I think so. Coated canvas, tweed, and then you will also see some leather. You'll see some of the less desirable leather like suede and patent, which are, in my opinion, more prone to damage than, let's say, a calfskin or lambskin or caviar, but you will also still see calfskin, lambskin, and caviar in this price range. And there are a few series or types of bags that you'll see more often in this price range. I found a lot of bowler bags, so you'll see that. Are those out of fashion or something? Is that why there are so many? When I was looking at Fashionphile this time, I didn't see, I think I only saw one or two vanity cases, but they were both damaged, so I didn't include them in this list that I'm about to show you. But I'm sure I've seen on other websites under $1,000 some little black leather train cases from Chanel that are pretty and are in fashion right now. You'll also see the chocolate bar series. That's, instead of the diamond quilting that Chanel is known for, it's a rectangular quilting, sometimes a square quilting, kind of like a Hershey's chocolate bar. And you'll also see some bags from the Cambone line. All right, now let's get into the bags that I found. And let me scoot over, and I'll put pictures up here next to me. And I'll tell you the prices, the current prices at the time I'm filming all of this. All right, I'm gonna start with the lowest price point I found. Wasn't terribly damaged. I will go up to $1,000 from there. And I also have one item that is just over $1,000 that I would totally buy. So I'm gonna share that with you toward the end. All right, the first bag I found was a travel bag, like an overnight bag. It's made of nylon. It's called the Nylon Travel Boston bag in black. I found a few pieces from this line. There was also a little pouch somewhere, although I don't think I included that one. I don't remember why. There may have been damage to it. This one is only $550. I do remember it had some frayed stitching on the bottom of one of the webbed straps, but I thought it was a really cute travel bag, and especially for someone who would like some luxury travel pieces but you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on them, like for a keep all or something, and you don't want something that's so obviously luxury, this could be a good option. There's also this satin and lambskin quilted shopping tote. There are quite a few totes in this price range, and this one was $555. And another sort of travel bag, I thought this would be a good gym bag, is this nylon travel duffel bag, and it's $615. And I also have the picture of it on the model because the picture of just the item doesn't really do it justice. It's a barrel bag, round on both ends. And here's a leather bag. This is lambskin, and it's called the Cloudy Bundle Bowler. You're going to see a lot of bowlers. This one is $615. And again, typically in this price range, you'll see corner wear, maybe a little discoloration, things like that. But I thought this one was really cute. I like the quilting on it, I like the color of it, and it seems pretty spacious. Oh, and by the way, I was going to mention too, in this price range, I said you'll find a lot of corner wear and edge wear, but in much higher price ranges, you find the same thing. So this is not damage that's exclusive to this price range. This isn't like, oh, you can go over 1,000 or 5,000 even and you won't find that ever. No. That's pretty common with Chanel bags. Well, any bag, but since we're talking about Chanel, that's a pretty common thing you're going to run into. So unless it's really bad corner or edge wear, or you're just really opposed to it, I wouldn't necessarily let that stop you from making a purchase. Here's a little nylon travel tote in black. This one is $650. Now this one I love. You guys know I love metallics, and here we have this dark silver metallic crackled calfskin, which I also love. Monte Carlo clutch. Nice little evening clutch. And if I needed an evening clutch, I would consider this one. It is $680. This one I thought was pretty. It's sort of color blocked, I guess. It's tricolor lambskin quilted bowler in white. And it has black trim and a little bit of, I can't quite tell if it's orange or like a camel color piping around the black trim. And that's $710, and I like that one. I like this one too. I like dark browns, and this one looks like a pretty casual tote but still kind of structured. It's the Caviar shoulder bag in brown, and it's $715. And it says Chanel. I think it's stitched at the top if I remember correctly. That's another thing with Chanel bags, is you can get bags that are very understated that nobody's going to know it's Chanel, or you can get bags that are screaming in your face, I'm Chanel. And you're going to see both of those in this video. This is one of the more understated ones. The next one. This is my favorite piece in the whole list that I'm sharing with you today, and it's not technically a bag, but it could totally be used as a bag. And this is a crackled metallic and like a copper, they're calling it gold, but copper bronzy gold, calfskin quilted medium size boy cosmetic case. That's a mouthful, but it's one of these O cases. This one is about 10 by 7 inches. I think it's slightly bigger than that. It's only $760, and I know that I have seen these things go for well over $1,000. So this one is priced really well. And actually today, as I'm filming this, I went through this morning and found these items. It was $800, and it was discounted today because Fashion File, every 30 days an item sits on their website, they discount it. So this one is currently discounted 5%. It's at $760. If I used flat pouches, and you could use this as a clutch, if I used flat pouches, I would jump on this. It is gorgeous. I love it so much, but I have flat pouches and never use them, so I don't think it would be wise for me to purchase that. I did find a few other flat pouches under $1,000, so I wanted to share those with you in case you like the idea, but that bronze metallic cracked calfskin is not your thing. Here is there's a price difference here because that one was $760. These are jumping up a bit. Here's an iridescent caviar, medium-sized boy cosmetic in a dark gray. and this is $980. Here's a caviar quilted medium cosmetic case in a dark red. That's also $980. That's Vincent whistling. Two that were a little bit cheaper than that. There's a lambskin quilted medium-sized boy cosmetic in navy. This is $955. And if you want the large size rather than the medium, here's a lambskin quilted large vintage Mademoiselle style cosmetic case in red, and this is $970. So you see what I mean about goldy bronze ones being a really good price at $760. All right, here's another tote. This is a chocolate bar tote. And this one's really interesting because it's canvas on the front and back, but then the sides are lambskin, and it has a little chain detail on the handle. This is $765. This bag I run across a lot in this price range and in the a little more than $1,000 range. And it comes in different sizes. I think this is the smaller, it says medium, it's medium size. This is a lambskin stitched medium ultimate soft tote in beige. And I really like the look of this bag. It has little metal accents. It has the CC zipper pull on it. It's a shoulder bag, which I like. I think that's pretty. That's $800. I also like this bag. This is the goat skin, which is my favorite leather. Medium Luxe Lin bowler bag, and this one is $805, and I love the chain detail in this bag. Chanel has many, I meant to say this at the beginning, Chanel is a brand that I am no expert on. I still feel like pretty much a novice to Chanel, but the more I learn about them, the more I peruse listings, the more I see what a wide variety of bags and styles they have. Like, you could find just about anything you want in Chanel if you're willing to pay the prices. There are some bags that have chain detailing in and around the bag in addition to just on the handles, and I really am drawn to those. I like them a lot. I find them edgy and interesting and different. Okay, this bag I think is really pretty, especially if you are more natural and sort of, what's the right word? Hippie's not the right word maybe, but free spirit, that kind of fashion, if that's your thing. This is a calfskin tote with a wood chain detail on the handle, and this one is $820. I also found the smaller hobo bag that was part of this line on the Real, and that's $995. I like those too. Oh, this bag. If I wasn't afraid of suede, I would really consider this bag because I think it's beautiful. It is the suede tassel diamond stitch CC shoulder bag in black. It's $820, and look at the detail on this. It has the stitching in the suede. It looks to be in great condition. It has this big, pretty tassel, a shoulder strap. It has the little CC logo on the top, subtle but there. I just think that's really pretty. This bag I think had some corner wear that was iffy, and it kind of reminds me of the Louis Vuitton Manhattan bag with the pockets on the front. This is the glazed caviar large pocket in the city tote in brown, and it's $825. I saw a few nylon puffer bags like this too. This is the nylon quilted cocoa cocoon bowler in a gray, and it is $880. Puffer bags have been really in the last couple years. This one I think is really pretty too. The distressed lambskin large lady braid satchel, and this is $905. It reminds me, with that top that's more structured and the bottom that's more poofy, it reminds me of my Louis Vuitton Trevi bag, or the bow tie bags, if you're familiar with those. This one is also pretty. I like this. I've been getting more and more into hobo bags lately. The lambskin chain hobo, and this is $920, and I think the color is really pretty also. Has a chain detail running around the front and back of the bag. Here's another chocolate bar piece. This is a lambskin quilted CC chocolate bar flap bag. So you won't find a whole lot of flap bags under $1,000, but you can find a few, and this is one. It has silver hardware, and it's $920. Here's another puffer kind of bag. This is the lambskin quilted cloudy bundle east-west tote. That means east-west is a horizontal bag, north-south bags are vertical. This is $920. I also think this one's pretty. It had several little things that were condition issues with this bag, but I feel like with a little love and cleaning, it could be cleaned up. This is the distressed lambskin vintage lin lady braid tote. and this is in brown. I think this bag has a lot of character and nice little details. I like it a lot. Okay, this next bag, I debated whether to show this to you because there's some damage that I don't know how to fix, but maybe someone out there knows how to fix it, or maybe someone out there wouldn't care because they really like the bag and the price is good enough. This one, I just think it's so fun too. I wanted to show you. It's the Calfskin number 5 Star Tote in black and orange, and it's $950. It looks pretty flat in this picture, but it does expand a few inches. And this, I'm guessing, is part of one of their cruise series bags, because doesn't it look like the side of an ocean liner that's all black with that white strip and the color at the top? That's what it's designed after, right? I'm convinced of that. But here's the back of the bag, and you can see it has some patent leather with this 5 and the star, and the 5 you can see has some color transfer on it, and so I don't know how to clean that off. That's why I stay away from patent leather, but maybe one of you knows how to deal with that and really likes that bag. And here's another tote. This is a lambskin bag with a patent trim on top and the beautiful chain with the leather running through it. It's a lambskin patent quilted shoulder bag, and this is $970. And this is another bowler, also a pretty one, I think. It says it's an iridescent calfskin, medium size, the Just Mademoiselle bowler. That's $975. Here's one of the Cambone bags that I mentioned earlier. This one is calfskin quilted and a large size, the Cambone bowler in beige and black, and it is $975. This is a pretty classic, very well-known in-your-face Chanel design. So if that's your style, here's one for under $1,000. Okay, this is another one of my favorite bags that I found. You remember how I said you don't see many flat bags under $1,000 and you don't see classic flaps or reissues. This is an exception. This is a reissue under $1,000. It's $975. It's in distressed suede. So you see how one side of the bag is darker than the other. It's supposed to look like that. Distressed suede puzzle 255, which is the reissue, in the 225 size, so that's one of the smaller sizes. And look at the chain detail in this too. It's so pretty. It's a small bag. It has like a peach tan colored fabric lining. It seems to be in pretty good shape, and I think it's so pretty. And again, if I wasn't afraid of suede, I might seriously consider that one. Here are two that are part of the same line but different sizes. These are the Paris Biarritz. Am I saying that right? Biarritz. This is the small quilted tote in coated canvas. Has silver hardware, and this one's $995. And then here's the same bag but in the large size, and this one is $1,000, only $5 more to get a bigger bag. Again, coated canvas with the silver trim. And then the last bag that I wanted to show you, which is just over $1,000. It's $1,025. This bag, if I didn't already have a bronze tote from Chanel, I would very seriously consider getting this. This is in deerskin, and it's the Luxlin tote. And it says it's in khaki, but that's bronze. And it has the chain detail that I like running through. It has the big CC on front, but it's sort of subtle even though it's big because it's not contrasting. It's just stitched into the leather. And I think that is very pretty. And I hope that one of you snags that one. So those are my Chanel handbag finds under $1,000 from Fashion File. And again, those are currently on the website, so if you see anything you like, check the description box below. I've got it all linked for you. Thank you so much for watching. Happy shopping. I hope that you are doing well and your loved ones are doing well. I appreciate you coming to watch this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.